It's WA Derby week, Group 2 final, and the heats of the WA Oaks ahead of us at Cannington on Saturday. Hello and welcome to the Wednesday preview. My name is James Broadhurst. Troy Iwanak joins me. Troy, the hits just keep coming.
Yeah, they do. The Derby, James, this week is a fantastic race brought together again. A couple of the big names maybe missed out, but a couple of the big names are in. So, exciting race and plenty to talk about there, plus Oak seats.
Yeah, Oak seats
very exciting.
Good this year,
Very
aren't
exciting.
they? Very talent-packed. But we will get to those in a moment. We've got to focus in on this Group 2 final for the WA Derby. It's an absolute ripper. Early on the card on Saturday night, it is race 3, so don't miss out on that if you're planning on tuning in a bit later. Before we get to the field, Troy, we've got to have a look at this fastest qualifier, Stan Manelli. Let's go back and have a look at the run from that dog. From box 7, Stan Manelli is only away moderately, but he quickly musters to cross the pack and land on the tail of the leading Tarawai.
Harvey McGraw hunts up on the inside and then followed by Kenya Redline. Well back, unchecked, just a foreman's last of all. Look at Stan Manelli down the back straight, blew the whistle and got underneath of Tarawai as they go off the back, went clear by 2. Out wide on the track, Aston Beyond runs on with Kenya Redline. Harvey McGraw, another one into the final for Hobby though. Stan Manelli race away, wins by 3.5 lengths.
So Stan Manelli winning there in 29.77, the fastest of the qualifying times. He's now won 4 of 6 and heads into the biggest race of his career to date. He's out of box 4 here for this trophy decider. Going to be the favourite. Generally not lightning early, but certainly quick enough to insert himself into this race. That's what he'll likely need to do to win this one, but there are chances across the board. His fellow David Hobby trained kennelmate Sunset Caligula is out in box 8 here, but certainly has no fear of wide draws, that greyhound. As we saw in his heat win last week, he is a big dog, 35 kilograms, and gets the space to wind up from out there. I don't mind him from box 8. On the inside here, we've got Intimidation. Didn't jump well last week. In fact, I've read an article on the Greyhound Recorder. Trainer Corey White said the dog actually slipped out of the boxes, but that worked for him. He got
your article?
It was not my article. It was someone,
right.
David Brash wrote that, but you can read my article with Shane Williams on the WA Derby on the Greyhound Recorder this week. That's up now. So Intimidation though, Troy, as we were talking about, got a bit messy up front in that race, didn't it? He was able to miss all that and he slipped past into lead. He's a dog coming back from a spell. And the word in that article from Corey was he expects this dog just to keep improving. Of course, we saw him win a Perth Cup heat earlier this year. We've got Nangar King in box 3. Really handy type. The time maybe not there in his heat, but certainly can go quicker. He'll be a show here if he can be up on the pace early in these stages. And we've got the sole Eastern States Raider. All the rest of them got knocked out. Corbin Yaxley recovered well to finish second in his heat last week. Had a pretty torrid run, I thought. So better effort than maybe it looked on paper, but can go better this week, but box 5 makes it a bit tricky. I thought those were the main contenders here, Troy. Any I've missed, and which one are you leaning towards in this?
Did you mention Aston Beyond?
I didn't.
No, I didn't think you did. That's the one that
probably,
I think...
the one that was on the borderline for me.
That one's probably the one that is probably on the border. The box draw is probably done him no favours with Caligula outside of him. That's my concern and my down on him. Just that I'm not sure he can get across. Look, Clifton Luca, I thought off the inside. I said last week, great each way play. Keep that one safe, and I think we've got pretty good each way odds on it. So off the red, I think again keep it safe. A bit tougher this week, bit tougher, but I think the draw helps it a little bit. Intimidation, I think it could be the leader here. I really think the box draws panned out well in that regard for it, so I have got a tick next to it. Look, Corbin Yaxley I think will improve. I think that goes without saying. But I'm just coming back to Stan Manelli every time I look at this race. I think he's going to get the sit into the race at some point, and I think he's strong enough. If he gets a unimpeded run at some point, in saying that, I mean, not held up or dogs coming back into him. If he can just maintain momentum during the race, I think he's going to be far too strong. So Stan Manelli on top for me, and I think this is a race in this Greyhound's resume that will become one of many feature events if he continues to progress the way he's progressing. Well, Stan the man.
Yeah, we saw Gideon, which there's a competition between these two dogs as to which one's the better of the litter at the mid stage. Stan's the one in the final. And yeah, look, I agree with you. Definitely favourite here. No certainty though, because I think there are a lot of chances in this one. And I do think Caligula's a danger out there.
Yeah, Gideon was a little bit unlucky in the heat.
Yeah.
But when you're not beginning brilliantly, and it did jump okay, happen, but when you're not beginning brilliantly and then a bit of trouble in these young races, and this is one of those things with the Derby or the Derby, however you want to pronounce it, you get dogs of all different experience, because some dogs are, being an age-restricted race, some dogs have only had limited starts and some have had many. So some dogs are less experienced in a field and may not race as tractable. Others are far more experienced and seasoned in that racing pattern. So it can be tricky, these races, and not always pan out as you think they're going to on paper, but Stan for me, he's just a class act, and if he gets a clean run, watch out.
Yeah, I'm with him as well, but not super confident because he can't be in a race.
Not super confident, but I just can't go past him. Any way I look at this race, I just honestly cannot put another dog on top against him. I just think he's a greyhound on the rise, and he's got that raw talent that we still haven't seen the bottom of yet. All
right, fair enough. There you go. We're both on Stan Manelli here for the Group 2 WA Derby. Of course, a star on the rise for David Hobby. Now, he figures to play a role in the WA Oaks as well, Troy. Certainly with this greyhound that he's got, Sunset Clarice, as we know, already won the Mandurah Oaks, coming into the heats of the WA Oaks here. Before we have a look at her heat, why don't we go back and have a look at her run at Cannington last week, as she tuned up for this series with a victory.
Racing, Sunset Clarice pinged out on the inside, went straight to the early lead, driving through. Jaffers Manelli goes to second up on the inside. Silent Assassin bumped with it, and now going to second was Aston Freddy from out wide. In behind them was Diddolini Manelli, and then followed by West on Cole. Well back in the field was Jaffers Manelli, along with Naughty Evie and Aston Rulers last of all as they go off the back. Sunset Clarice is the leader out by 4. Running into second was Aston Freddy. In behind them was Diddolini Manelli and West on Cole as they swing. Sunset Clarice is nicely clear, goes on and scores by 2.5.
So let's bring up the field for the first heat of the Mandurah Oaks, and there is Sunset Clarice, as mentioned, going for the Mandurah WA Oaks double. She's won her past 5. She gets box 1. She clocked 5:44 first section in her win last week. She's the favourite, Troy, but there are threats in this one. We've got a raider here next door, Ritza Chris from New South Wales, having a first look at the track. So some question marks about what that dog's going to do. We don't quite know. Adds a bit of intrigue here. We've got Justice Sapphire, which won in 29.83 last week, and with that sort of time, Justice Sapphire can be competitive in this. Hot Minute returns to Cannington, where she's 2 from 2. Dog that will need to launch from the lemon here, but certainly capable. Then out in box 8, the big threat from New South Wales, Money Keeping. Had a look at the track last week, but we can put a line through that run, I reckon. Found all sorts of bother. I don't think that's a true indication of the talent that this dog has. She jumps hard right, so I'm actually thinking box 8 is going to be good for her. She can get a clear run out there and maybe wind them up, as opposed to she was mid-track last week and just hit roadblocks after roadblocks. Super talent. Can she be a threat to Sunset Clarice here?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Sunset Clarice, hard to go past, in great form, running good time, and a greyhound that's still developing and growing. Hot Minute, I think, is one that's capable of running the time and could be the one that sets a bit of a pace. But Money Keeping, 29.45 and 29.55 from wide draws at Wenty Park.
Yep.
That's good running, very smart running for a young greyhound. If it runs anywhere near that, it's going to be very, very tough to beat in this. So does need to handle the track and all the conditions, but off those performances alone, and as you mentioned, seems to like it a bit wider.
Yeah.
Those wins were off a wide draw. I think it was box 7 in both of those occasions by memory. It looks very well suited. So I think it's going to be between Clarice and Money Keeping, but I think Money Keeping's the greyhound on the rise here with the improved run off the trail and runs races.
Yeah, we're thinking along the same lines. Got to go to the local. Sunset Clarice got the draw, got the form, got a huge threat out there in box 8.
Yep. Just capable of running those sort of times mean it could run very quick time here as well.
All right, let's swing our attention now to the second heat here at Troy. And out of box 1, we're seeing the return of Heartbreak Honey. Now, we haven't seen this dog for about a month or so, but she was winning over 6:01 prior to that break. That's good, so we know she'll come late. Does she have the early toe to take advantage of the draw? Not sure. Pam Keeping out of box 3 here was a runner-up in the Mandurah Oaks. It was in a free-to-all last week. We've spoken about this dog quite a bit of late. The experience that she brings, she's got 43 starts under her belt. That's a massive advantage compared to the experience of the other dogs in this field. So big edge there, and from this draw I think can do some damage. So one of the big guns in this heat, I think, Pam Keeping. Then we've got Pound Keeping, which is a kennel mate here of Money Keeping. Now, highly rated dog, looked really flat last week. First time over the Cannington circuit, I have to say. Third in a 5-dog field. Not super encouraging, I have to say. Obviously the dog's got talent, otherwise it wouldn't be here, and will be better for the look at the track, but we'll need to improve a lot on that, you'd think. Could be the X factor in this, depending on how well she does improve. And then out in box 8 we've got Rip and Ruby, which had the draw just adds a degree of difficulty to this dog, but I think could be a bit of a smoky in here. Handy chaser, Rip and Ruby. How do you see this race?
Yeah, I had similar layout to what you've mentioned, James. Heartbreak Honey, 600 form. I'm not sure that's going to translate to the 500.
Yeah,
it
that's
might make it a little bit difficult. Pam Keeping, this is a greyhound that's got to be kept safe here. Very, very capable, can run reasonable time. Don't underplay that greyhound in this race, because I think it's going to be right there. Pound Keeping, now this greyhound is a genuine talent. Not sure what happened in that run last start, but
just didn't turn up.
But recent wins that went in 29.66, 29.63 and 29.65. That's good going. This greyhound is clearly very smart and very talented. Expect improvement off that run because it is far better than what it showed the other week. And Rip and Ruby look very capable, as you've mentioned. I think it's another one you've got to keep very safe. On paper alone, Pound Keeping is the winner to me, and probably is a class edge on a few of these a little bit. But if it doesn't turn up and perform the way we know it should, I think Pam Keeping could be a real good value bet here.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, spoke to Shane Williams. He was somewhat confident about Pam Keeping in this one, liked the chances. Didn't say outright that's going to blow him away, but yeah, I'm coming into this relatively confident.
I think Ruby and Pound Keeping and maybe a few of the others might give us a bit more value about Pam Keeping, and we know how capable it is. 29.74 around Cannington runs that. It's probably going to be right there. And I just think the draw kind of plays out well for it. So, yeah, look, while I'm really keen on Pound Keeping because I know how talented this greyhound is, it does need to get to that form.
Yeah, based on what we saw last week, it adds a.
But I'm expecting
it
to turn around. Now, if it doesn't, that's where a bet on Pam Keeping or play on Pam Keeping could be great value.
Yep. All right, there we go. Let's go to the third heat now, Troy. Another good one. All 3 heats are fantastic. We've got Sparkling Gem out of box 1 here. This is a dog that's in good form. She can run time. She's got the draw. One of the main chances, is she favourite? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see when the market comes out. Choosing Texas out of box 3 here. Here's a dog that got her career off to an absolute flyer. Wins in her first 5 races. Has found it just a little bit tougher in her past couple of starts, but does look like a talent. And on her night, she can storm out of the traps as well. If she does that here, look out for Choosing Texas. Westall Menace, I guess, is a bit like Heartbreak Honey. It's won her past 2 over the 601, finished strong. Did she put herself in a good enough position early to play a role in here? And then we've got Impress Moana out in box 7. Last start winner. I don't mind the dog. It's probably, for me, more of a novelty play, I think, in this race. Where are you looking towards in this one?
Yeah, off the red. Sparkling Gem. Track and distance, 6 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds. So great form at Cannington. An up-and-coming chaser that's got real talent again. I just think she's well suited here. Has run 29.56 around Cannington, so capable of running time, putting on the clock. I just can't go past her off there. Saying that, Choosing Texas, very capable, but tends to need to lead in its races to do its best. West on Menace, again, like you mentioned, strong 600 form. How that translates back to 500 now, I think some of these might be a little bit too sprightly.
Off and gone.
Yeah. And Naughty Evie's the one that I think could be the surprise packet here. Very capable greyhound's got the vacant box inside of it, with the 5 being vacant. This greyhound can perform very well. It could be the keep safe factor here at a decent each way odds.
Right.
I am with Sparkling Gem. I can't go past it, but I think you need to keep Evie a little bit safe if you're getting good each way value, keeping in mind that there'll probably only be 1 and 2 because of vacant box, so no third place dividend. But it just could be the greyhound that happens to put itself on the pace early and surprise a few.
All right. Well, I was going to go Sparkling Gem, but we've aligned on everything. So just to be a little bit different, I'm going to back Choosing Texas to burst out of the traps, get to the lead, and run on and win this one. Just so we've got a little bit of variance in our selections, Troy. There you go. All right, you got nothing on that? Okay, good. Well, we will move on. Those are the 3 heats of the
I'm not sure what you wanted me to give you on that,
Cannington,
to be honest.
On Saturday. Great card of racing, isn't it? The Oaks heats, and we've got the final of the Derby. It's an absolute ripper. All right, also good chasing tonight, Troy. 10 races at Cannington. First of those kicking off at 6:21 p.m. Free entry as it is each and every night here at Greyhounds WA. What is your best bet for tonight's chasing?
Yeah, I was going to back up with Rip and Blue after last week's run. He got beaten. He was a second, but it was a bit of a Beyond Me next week run. But checked the field this morning and he scratched. So that changed things a little bit. So I've gone race 8, number 2.
Will you be on him the next time?
I think I might, but I'm just worried that he might be one of those dogs that it's Beyond Me next week, Beyond Me next week, which is a little bit concerning for me. So, more
tease than a burlesque show.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll see. I don't want to label him that yet. I just want to see him a couple more runs. Race 8, number 2, Gravity Manali. This greyhound from the very smart litter, including Stan and Gideon. 29.69 win in a maiden last start. That's good going, we know that. Does come up against a greyhound you tipped the other week by the name of Sharma. Capable of running on, a bit of an X-factor greyhound. Smallish field tonight. It could get a bit more room, but it needs to do things right.
He could do anything.
Yeah, it needs to do everything right though. But I believe if Gravity's off and gone running anywhere near that 69 time, it's going to be very hard to reel in. So I think Gravity in this race should get the beautiful run and should be tough to beat.
All right, there you go. I'm going early tonight, Troy. In fact, the very first race on the card, race 1, number 1, Sunset Sky Light, in a grade 5 2.75 metre race. Quite a few chances in this one, I thought. Sunset Skylight, certainly one of those dogs, capable on her night, has been a little bit more miss than hit of late, but I thought this draw does give her a very good chance to get back on track, and I think she'll put a good showing here, and we might also get some sort of price about her as well, given recent form has mainly been a bit down. So race 1, number 1, Sunset Skylight for me tonight at Cannington.
So 1 and done.
1 and done, yeah. Let's fingers crossed.
Race 1, number 1.
Yeah. Early night for me, but there's still good racing. Stick around for race 8.
Stay for mine, right? Yeah, race 8. You got to check that one out for sure. Jeez. You must have made money after if yours doesn't get up.
All right, there we go. That is what we think for tonight's chasing at Cannington. Troy, once again, some excellent racing ahead of us and lots to look forward to.
Genuinely good heats of the Oaks. Can't wait for these. Exciting chasing. potentially some value there if you look outside the favourites, and if they don't perform as expected, and an amazing derby, however you want to pronounce it, derby in WA, but a great race with some local talent in it, a bit of an X-factor Eastern States runner, but a great race nonetheless altogether.
Going to be an absolute beauty. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you can make it down to the track, but either way, you'll be able to catch us next week on the Wednesday preview.